Hi, everybody. My name is Astrid Northrup, and I am your instructor for engineering surveying and practical surveying. Our first class will be held tomorrow, Tuesday, January 16th at 3:30 p.m. So we'll meet in SM 120, which is across the hall from my office. And I wanted to give you a little bit of information just before we get started. When we first get to class tomorrow, we will have a full class period, and we are going to be working on a survey. So you need to make sure that you dress appropriately for the weather, which could be a little bit of a challenge this time of the year. So the first thing I want to let you know is that the lecture portion of engineering surveying and the lecture portion for practical surveying are both on this page. I've combined the two pages, so when you open up your portal beginning on Tuesday, you'll have access to all of this material. The next thing is that all of the material, we'll go over this tomorrow in class, but the class syllabus for engineering surveying is right here. The class syllabus for practical surveying is right here. So if you have any questions about how to get a hold of me, what the grades are based upon, what material you need for the class, all of that is contained in those syllabi. Now, the one thing that you will notice when we talk about, when you look at the syllabi, is that you will need a textbook and you will also need a field book. So I'm going to show you what those two things look like in just a second here. All right, so first of all, for both classes, there's a field book that looks like this, and we'll talk about the specifics of this book in class, but I have copies of these available for each of you, so you don't have to pay for them, and you do not have to find them on the internet or go downtown and find one. So those will be provided for you tomorrow. The textbook for practical surveying looks like this. It's no longer in print, but I have copies of it at my office. I'll bring some tomorrow for you to get started with, and then you can also check it out from the library if need be. Now, for engineering surveying, the textbook is this. It's Galani and Wolf. It's a classic textbook. It's been around forever. And we will be doing work from this, and you will need to purchase one. Now, if you're able to find an older edition of the textbook more cheaply, please feel free to do so. I only have one copy of that. That book is also available online through Pearson. So you can get an ebook or you can get a physical book, but it's not available through the library. And I don't have extra copies of it. So you'll have to get a hold of it somewhere. For the material for this week, I'll make sure that you have access to it. But beginning next week, please make sure that you have a copy of the textbook available. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to let you know, I went through everybody's schedule because I was uncertain whether the period that we chose for lab was going to work, but turns out everybody is free. So we'll meet Tuesdays from 3 till, I think I said 3:30, but it's 3 o'clock until 4:40 p.m. Make sure every time that we meet for lab that you dress for the weather, because we will go outside no matter what. If there's a lab to be done, which there will be, almost every week we will be outside. Now, tomorrow on Tuesday, January 16th, we're going to do 2 labs. I'm going to teach you how to write in your lab notebooks. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we do things the way we do things procedurally. And then we're going to do lab number 1 and lab number 2. So the directions for lab number 1 and lab number 2 are right here on our Moodle page, as will all of the lab procedures. But we're going to do both of those tomorrow. We're going to use a certain piece of equipment called a steel tape. And by the end of the day, you'll know quite a bit about how to use a steel tape. All right, so as we proceed on Tuesday, January 16th, we'll do 2 labs. The following week, which is Tuesday, January 23rd, we'll do 2 labs. And also at the beginning of each class period, each lab period, we'll discuss any questions that you have, because the material for the class, for the lectures, are recorded. All right, so the first thing you'll do is right here, the introductory video will be posted to our Moodle page right here, and you'll watch that. And then as you go down through the material, you'll see that engineering surveying has lectures, which are shown with a little paper clip or link, and as does practical surveying. So in each one of these classes, you'll see that there will be different links that you'll be watching to get ready. Today, it's just, for tomorrow, it's just the lecture that I'm performing right now. But you'll always have lectures to watch and material to be done. So you'll see, for example, on assignment number 2, engineering surveying's homework is to read chapter 2 and to do these problems. Practical surveying is to read chapter 14 and to do those problems. So those are out of those respective textbooks that I just showed you. So if you ever have any questions about what you're working on, you just need to get a hold of me and make sure that we are both up to date and that I've helped you do whatever you need to do to get ready to do the homework, because we do not meet face-to-face to cover the material in lecture. All that's recorded and put up on our Moodle page. So if there's any help that you need to get a hold of me additionally, so that I can work with you to make sure that you are tracking with everything that we need to do. Now, the other thing is that I am in my office quite a bit. And if you need to visit with me, you may be able to come find me in my office. However, there is a better way to find me. And if you look on your syllabus for either class, you'll see what that better way is. Okay, so I have an email, and this is an old syllabus. I apologize for that. I'm gonna have to update that. But let me find our current syllabus for this class, which is over here. Okay. All right. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. I've pulled up the new copy, or the copy for this year, for the syllabus for practical surveying, which this will be posted to a Moodle page, as will the new syllabus for engineering surveying. But the point I wanted to make was, here in office hours, the best way to reach me is by going to this Calendly link. That links you directly into my school calendar, and it'll set up a half-hour appointment for us. So that way we don't have to email back and forth, we don't have to call, you don't have to stop by hoping you're going to find me. Just set up an appointment and I will be here. Now, Calendly will also generate a Zoom link for us, but if you want to meet face-to-face, we can do that instead. So either way, you will reserve that time, and we'll be able to take time together to make sure that everything is understood by you and that you have all the help that you need. So for tomorrow, January 16th, please meet me in SM 120 at 3 p.m. and make sure you're dressed to go outside in the weather, and I will provide everything else. I'm looking forward to seeing you, looking forward to working with you, and please don't hesitate to get a hold of me if you have any questions. See you tomorrow.